The Secret to Immortality Podcast, Episode 7, How Words Create Immortal Life. The words we use and choose to hear can create immortal life with joy, happiness, and freedom, or just the opposite, lives of struggle, pain, and death. With our words, we choose the shape and form of reality, from our own bodies to the physical world in which we live. Words are tools we use to create what we have. With words, we can transform our lives to a physically immortal heaven on earth. Welcome to Episode 7 of the Secret to Immortality Podcast with John Harrigan, that's me, author, qigong master, and founder of the website immortalnow.com, where we teach the secret to immortality. In this podcast episode, we'll look at the power of words to craft our lives, how words can create wonder and good, or trouble, suffering, and death. The secret to immortality has 3 parts. 1, mindfulness for immortality. 2, qigong for lasting life. And 3, immortality coaching. How we use our words and inner dialogue, the subject of this episode, are part 1 of the secret to immortality, mindfulness for immortality. Qigong, part 2 of the secret to immortality, is an ancient Chinese healing art. And 3, immortality coaching, is working with another farther upon the path. As we're mindful of how we think, speak, and act, we gain control of how we create. As we become aware of this manifestation process that we use by speaking, we get close to our immortal core and act with an eternal quality. Becoming aware of how we speak within ourselves and in the world gives us control of life's creative process and allows us to access our deep personal soul, our timeless and lasting selves. A world of words. As humans, we live in a world of words, silent and unspoken, going through our head. We live with words, loud, unhappy, joyful, soft, and brilliant, or somewhere in between. We live our lives in untold words, never voiced or spoken, both conscious and unknown. We live our lives with words to celebrate, direct, or condemn the world in which we live. Words are an action, a movement into flesh. Words are creative thought pushing into form. Words are directions to our body and mind, telling it what to do. Words manufacture our physical selves in the world in which we live. Words are instructions we use to create who we are and the life around us. Our bodies obey the words we use. Physical reality forms itself around the words we speak and think. Our words, in a sense, are seeds that grow into form in physical reality. The physical universe rearranges and changes in response to words, the words we think, write, and speak. Words create and define everything in existence. Words precede all form. First, there's a thought or word, then there's an action. Words and ideas create. Let's think a little about what I've just said. Words create and define everything in existence. We're going to repeat that and think about what I'm saying. Words create and define everything in existence. In our Western culture, we're not always really careful with words. Some of us are, but some of us aren't. We kind of say anything without the thought that words really have power. They have incredible power not only to create ourselves and who we are, but to tell the world around us what to do. When we have words that are benevolent and kind, when we speak in generous terms, people respond to that in a positive way. It's kind of obvious, isn't it? But we don't think about it so much. Sometimes we think, well, I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you the truth. My question to that would be, really? Are you maybe instead just trying to insult someone, hurt their feelings, and put yourself above them? So often when we say, I'm just an honest person and tell the truth, beneath that is, I'm fairly insensitive to you and I'm going to say things that hurt your feelings. Let's not do that. Be aware of what you're saying to people. Be aware of what you're saying to yourself, and I'll give you an exercise later in this episode of how to create awareness of the dialogue inside you and create awareness of our words. We may think, oh, I'm very aware of what I'm saying. Are you really? Are you looking beneath your words to the motive and the feeling that is giving rise to what you say? People, this is how you get to immortality. This is how you get to that immortal core of who you are, by saying benevolent, kind, and peaceful words that reflect the true you, the true center of your being. Kind and benevolent words. In the beginning of this podcast, I read the quote from my own writing. The words we use and choose to hear can create immortal life with joy, happiness, and freedom, or just the opposite of struggle, pain, and death. Let's consider a moment. Let's think about these words, this quote. The words we use and choose to hear. It's not just the words we use. It's not just the inner dialogue within us, conscious or unconscious, which I'll get to later in the podcast. It's words we choose to hear. So think about that. All day long, most of the day, we're actually choosing what we're listening to. We're actually choosing our experience and the words we hear. What are you choosing to watch on TV? What conversations are you choosing to get involved in? What are you listening to in those conversations? We make choice after choice after choice throughout the day. What conversations we'll hear, what we'll listen to. So part of this podcast, and I'll get to exercises to how to do this later in the podcast, but you can do it right now. Start to be mindful about what you're choosing to hear and understand that you have a choice, even at work. You have a choice of what you listen to, of what you're part of, what conversations you enter into or don't. You can get out of a conversation at any time you want, or you can choose to never get into a conversation that doesn't serve you, that isn't productive for yourself, for your work, for your family, home, and children. With the words we choose to use, with the words we choose to hear, we can create immortal life, an immortal life in an immortal world with joy, happiness, and freedom, or just the opposite of struggle, pain, and death. We are crafting our physical bodies, our brains, and the world around us with the words that we're using. In the natural world, the world around us responds to us according to the words we use day after day, according to the words we repeat in our head. Are we speaking with benevolence, awareness, and kindness? Are we just saying anything from our aggressive and killing nature to our competing qualities? Are we speaking from irritation and intolerance, or joy, happiness, and freedom, of love and understanding? This is really critically important. You don't have to learn how to do these things in an instant, a day, a month, or a year. The idea is that we make progress every day. We start to inventory what we're saying, paying attention to words within ourselves, to dialogue, inner dialogue that may be unconscious even. Words going around in our head, messages and beliefs, and all of these things are words. And we start to examine and look at these things, and why did we do that? We do that so we get control of how we're creating and what we're creating. With the secret to immortality, we're creating the best of who we are. And the best of who we are is, I assure you, happy, joyous, and free, benevolent, kind, full of love, infinite good that we share with all of creation, each other, and beyond. The whole point to the secret to immortality is to have wonderful, beautiful lives of benevolence, good, and love. And this is how to do it. The physical universe rearranges and changes in response to words. The words we think, write, and speak, both conscious and unconscious. Again, beliefs we have that may be controlling our lives every moment are actually words within us that are repeating by habit again and again as loops throughout the day, minute by minute. Our self-esteem really is composed of words, of dialogue that we've heard, that we may have heard since childhood. We can reprogram, we can write new code for everything in an immortal fashion, in a beautiful, loving, and compassionate way that expresses our lasting nature, our soul and core. And as we do that, it comes into flesh. It affects the cells of our body, and the world around us responds. Now, let's look at some exercises, some things we can do, some practical, real-world things we can do to make physical immortality a reality in our lives today and now. We suggest at the website immortalnow.com, if you haven't been there, I highly suggest you go, immortalnow.com. We suggest a daily practice. Every day we're practicing something, silently, unconsciously, or willfully. We're practicing something in how we speak, how we think, and how we act. A daily practice is essential for productive change, for benevolence and good in our lives. With the secret to immortality, we suggest a daily practice of self-awareness, where you learn how you create, where you become aware of how you're creating your lives, your bodies, your world, with your thoughts and actions. A self-awareness exercise can bring you to your soul, to your immortal self, where our soul instructs and gives. The beauty of the secret to immortality, the beauty of crafting a better life of benevolence and good is once we work at it a while, that benevolence and good simply takes over and starts living our lives for us. Because that's who we really are, I suggest, when you find it and you can experience it. The beauty, the blessing, the infinite gift of your soul, the core of who you are, that soul and core of you will instruct you, will inform you, will enlighten you, and give you the unlimited gift of life and beyond. Here's a short but effective exercise for awareness. Now, it's not any awareness, it's awareness of how we're speaking, how we're thinking, how we're acting, and creating our lives. Ultimately, it's awareness of our perfect immortal soul, our eternal selves that we're bringing into flesh by becoming aware of it. A simple and effective exercise for awareness is this. Here we go. Every day, sit still, relax, and be calm. Relax and breathe easily. You're okay. Breathe easily. Accept yourself. Accept your life. And don't fight anything. Breathe in, breathe out, be calm, be easy. Think about what you're thinking. Pay attention to your thoughts. Become aware of your thoughts in this relaxed state of easy breathing. Beware of your thoughts, both silent and spoken. And you may ask, how do I become aware of silent thoughts? What are they? Don't worry. Just ask. Ask of yourself that you become aware of your inner dialogue. And slowly you will. Think about what you've said in the day, this day, and how you've been speaking to the people closest to you. It's kind of easy to speak well, perhaps, to people in public or at work, but the most powerful changes you can affect are with those close to you. How are you talking to them? How are you speaking to them? What words are you using? What is the motivation behind your speech? Look at that. So quietly, you're relaxed, you're calm, you're breathing in and out easily, doing perhaps an exercise that I've taught previously, eyes to nose, nose to heart, feet to ground. Are you trying to be better than someone else in your speech? What are the motives? Silently, quietly, and easily self-examine. No judgment. You're just wanting to become aware of who you are and what you're doing with how you're talking. When you speak, are you speaking with criticism or complaint? Do you even know? Are you giving advice when it's actually an attack of another person that doesn't need to be said? We all do this. It's natural. We're all competitive. We're all a bit the predator. It's how we're designed. So become aware of how this predator nature, trying to be better than someone, trying to get your needs met, become aware of how this is happening in your life. I suggest to you there's a much more effective way to get your needs met by finding the eternal, immortal core of who you are. Are you helping and kind in your words, or are you being not so nice? Let's go next to the power of goodness in daily life. Goodness in all our behaviors brings us closer to our soul, the immortal core of self. Goodness is the key to the secret to immortality. Goodness leads to our soul when we act good. It brings that immortal quality of who we are alive. With the secret to immortality, direction toward benevolence and love is our aim. Direction to something good, but not perfection. With the secret to immortality, we are beginning to control ourselves, to control how life is forming around us, to control how we're creating life. And at the same time, with qigong that I teach on the website immortalnow.com, at the same time with qigong, we're getting stable and strong. We're becoming more and more aware of that beautiful, immortal, golden core, our soul. With the secret to immortality, direction towards benevolence and love is our aim, as I've just said. Direction towards something good, but not perfection. We are never trying to be perfect, or we shut ourselves off from the sunlight of our own spirit. Never perfection, people, but progress and direction. Where are we guiding our ship, the ship of our life? Practice self-awareness, self-reflection, meditation, and prayer every day. These are the three elements to personal growth of any type. It doesn't really matter what you call it. Practicing self-awareness, meditation, that may be simply getting calm, relaxing, and allowing your life to be. And prayer is simply making request of your body, your mind, your soul, and a higher power in the world. These are the three elements of any personal growth in any religion and any personal growth process or practice. And importantly, these are key and important to the secret to immortality that we teach, again, at immortalnow.com. So to repeat, practice self-awareness with self-reflection, meditation, and prayer. Choose the words that live in you. I'm going to repeat that. Choose the words that live in you. The words we use, the words we choose to listen to speak, and to repeat, they're involved with our physical forms. They're affecting the cells of our bodies. So choose the words that live in you. Change and consciously create the vocabulary in your life. You can do it. It's simple, just one step at a time. Listen again and again to this very podcast. That's how we change ourselves. Read the free blog articles at immortalnow.com. Take a look at the course that we offer. And most importantly, look at Immortality Lab, where we have original and unique lectures on immortality, and we have qigong class every week, a new exclusive qigong class and immortality lecture exclusive and only found at Immortality Lab that you can find at immortalnow.com. We highly suggest this membership. We've put a lot of work into making it happen and presenting it for you at a reasonable price. Practice self-awareness, self-reflection, meditation, and prayer. Choose the words that live in you. Change and consciously create the vocabulary in your life. Here's another awareness exercise, effective and powerful. We become aware of our inner dialogue by writing it down. There is no more powerful way to find out what are those unconscious thoughts and words going on in you that are controlling you and coming out in your physical behavior and your speech in a way that you may not even know. Begin to write down what you're thinking and what you're feeling. I suggest free association writing. Free association writing develops word awareness, helping us uncover that's a dog next door, and I'm not going to edit it out. Helping us uncover what we are and what we're thinking. Sorry, I'm laughing about that dog. Free association writing develops word awareness, helping us uncover what we are, who we are, and what we're thinking. It's a type of self-inventory. Start writing. Relax, get calm, do a little meditation, a little deep breathing, and start to write without controlling what you write. With this exercise of free association, write freely everything you think and feel, good, bad, and in between, that comes into your head. Get a piece of paper and pen, sit down, relax, and start writing. I suggest doing this every day or every other day or once a week, but start writing. This will get you on the path of self-awareness, and especially showing you what's going on in your mind, in your body, what dialogue that may have been really unconscious to you. Don't edit anything that you're thinking or feeling. Just start writing it down, letting your inner self speak, and don't be afraid of what comes out. We're all a bit hostile and judgmental. Don't try to write every nice thing. Write the bad stuff, the good stuff, and everything in between. That's how we gain control of who we are and where we're going in life. And again, I apologize a little bit for the dog next door, but there's a lesson in this. Even when I'm doing, in my home here, the qigong class and the lectures, I'm not editing out anything in the outside world, because you need to deal with interruption and disruption, because that's what's life. That is what life is all about. We can continue the secret to immortality and immortality living through any interruption, through any hardship, any disruption, any suffering, any pain, any rejection that happens in our life, because that is what happens in the world. And week by week, podcast by episode podcast, I'm going to teach you how to get through anything life throws at you and how to create, in fact, a better and better life. So part of what we're doing to create this wonderful life of immortality, of happiness and joy, is awareness. And the last exercise I taught you was free association writing. I highly suggest this. Now we'll move on to the habit of speaking kind words. Make good words a habit, please. Choose immortal thoughts to direct your life of benevolence and good. Repeat kind, helpful words throughout the day to yourself. Tell yourself that you're a good person, that you're happy and good. Tell yourself that you're loved by the world and yourself and at peace. Know that there is love and acceptance for you every day at our website, immortalnow.com. And know that any good person in the world does have love for anyone else. We may not like everyone else. We all react to people that are harsh and difficult, but we can still love them. Words are the creative machine that we use to make, shape, direct, and construct physical reality, our bodies and our physical form in the world. Wow! That's incredible, because listen to this. You have control of the words you use. You have control of the words you listen to. You have control of the inner dialogue of words, both conscious and unconscious. Again, words are the creative machine that we use to make, shape, direct, and construct physical reality, our bodies, and our physical form in the world. Use words to sculpt the life you want. Physical immortality happens by the words we use. I'm laughing at the dog. Physical immortality happens by the words we use. Death, hardship, and pain are formed the same way. Anything harsh and difficult, death, hardship, and pain, collectively or individually, is a result of how we have all behaved, talked, and thought over time. Physical immortality happens by the words we use, individually, collectively. Words are thoughts. Words and thoughts are involved in our actions. Words and thoughts precede actions. But so often we're not really aware of what our actions are in the world. We may think we are, but are we really aware of the motive behind our thoughts and actions? Words spoken, silent, conscious, or unknown, direct all of life. I want to repeat this because it's so important. Spoken words, silent, unconscious, or conscious, direct all of life. How I'm reacting to this dog bark, especially at 2 a.m., and it does happen, this poor dog next to me that gets distressed sometimes at 2 a.m., how am I reacting to that? Am I making the event much worse? Am I disrupting my body and my mind? Or am I just accepting it and maybe talking to the dog owner the next day with respect, with kindness and love? Moving on, words write the code that program the world. Words write the code, the computer code. Think of it that way. Words write the code that program the world and tells everything in existence what to do. We're writing the computer code for all of creation, telling it what to do, how to respond, and how to treat us. We're writing the computer code telling our bodies how to behave and how to act. For further help, inspiration, and insight related to this podcast, go to our website, immortalnow.com, find the blog, and type the word mindfulness into the blog search box. You'll find 2 very helpful, powerful, and effective blog posts. I suggest you do that as soon as this podcast episode is over, which is going to happen in a few minutes. So how do you get going with the secret to immortality? You're interested in what this podcast is about. So how do you take it further? Get what you want. Get empowered. Get going with who you are, creating a better world and life. To get going with the secret to immortality, go to immortalnow.com, our website. immortalnow.com. 1, read the blog. It's free. 2, see our book, Qigong and Spiritual Growth. You can find a link to that book on every blog post. 3, try the course. We have an introductory course, Introduction to Immortality. Again, that's a link to that is present and available to the right of every podcast, of every blog post. So any individual blog post you're at, and you should be there, that's the first thing we recommend. On any blog post to the right, you'll see a link to our book and a link to the Introduction to Immortality course. 4, we strongly suggest you get a membership to Immortality Lab, where we have a unique and exclusive Qigong class, video Qigong class, a new one every week, exclusive to Lab, and a new and exclusive Immortality lecture. And we have also all types of goodies, information, inspiration, and motivation for you in Immortality Lab. But the 2 essential things are the unique and exclusive Qigong class, video class every week that I record here with our friendly neighborhood dog, and a Qigong lecture. And of course, continue to listen to this podcast, The Secret to Immortality. Again, to repeat, how to get going with The Secret to Immortality, go to our website, immortalnow.com. 1, see the blog. 2, see our book, and maybe even read it. 3, try the course and join Immortality Lab. To end, God love you and bless you, your higher power the same, or whomever and whatever, blessings to you deeply. Be happy, strong, and free. You are immortal now.